Welcome back to Virtual Reality Game Dev Ed. This is the 7th tutorial video for our friend Codename B. Now, where we are at right now is really basic actually. We made a little character. It's kind of cool. We can move around pretty well. Shoot, we've got a little we can kind of sort of jump. The height's a little low, but we can also shoot with the enter button. And as we're shooting those balls, they delete themselves after a little while, so it doesn't bog down our game. But that's about it. So in this tutorial, we are going to start setting up a bit of a scene for ourselves. So before we get started, I actually went ahead and decided to give everybody some free stuff this time for the sake of the demo. What this is a package, a Unity package full of textures. Now, I use a program, a very powerful program called FilterForge to make my textures, and we actually have an introductory tutorial video on FilterForge that I will leave a link at the top of this video for everyone to get to that video to find out about FilterForge if you'd like to make your own textures. But for those of you who just want to do something really quick and free, all you have to do is go to our website, open up your browser, and type in vrealitygames.com, and then come to our VR Game Dev Ed page, and then scroll down to the very bottom of it, and you will see this is at the bottom of this page. That's where I will put all of the free files that I'll be giving out through all of our series. You can go ahead and just download this. This is the Unity texture package that I have here, and it's got quite a few textures in it that we'll be using in this little this tutorial series, and that's a 94 megabyte size file, just to warn everybody. It's a little big, but it has a lot of textures in it, which is great, and we're made by using this program called FilterForge, and again I'll have a link at the top of the video for everyone. So that also lets me talk about importing assets externally. We have imported all of these assets from inside Unity so far. So now I get to show you all how to import packages from external sources. Now, one thing you'll notice, this project folder is your assets folder. You can actually find this on your on your computer somewhere, but you don't actually want to alter the files like that. Unity automatically sets everything up the right way. So the best way to do that, this is where my Unity package is right now. The best way to do this is to literally just find your Unity package after you've downloaded it, take it out of the folder or wherever it is, and literally just drag it down here until you see blank, and go ahead and drop it in. Then give it a second, and Unity will automatically add it down there for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder for this. I'm going to call this packages, just so I know where it is. And I'm going to drag this into that packages folder. And now to import it, all you have to do is double click on it, and it will decompress it first. It'll find out everything that's inside of it. This takes a little bit of time, but then it'll come up with this new little screen that says importing the package. Okay, now it will have all of these textures in it. These are all the textures that I'm giving you guys for free right now if you download it off my website. You want to make sure that all of these are checked. You can actually uncheck or check them all if you want. Make sure they're all checked and go ahead and click import. Give it that second. Let it go ahead and import all of these textures. I'm going to actually pause the video real quick and come right back. Okay, I just finished importing that package, and we see a new folder down here now called Textures, which is the folder that I had in that package. So if you open that folder, you will see all of these wonderful textures that I just gave you all. So those are the textures we'll be using for this. Now, to place a texture on an object, it's very simple. All you have to do is just like before, you can just drag and drop. But the first thing we actually want to do is create a material for it. So let's go ahead and make a I'm going to use this regular bricks right here. So I'm going to make a bricks material. Right click on your materials folder and create a new material. Okay, call this bricks or whatever you want. And now you see this little empty box right here. All you have to do is drag that texture right up here. And there you go. We see a little preview of our texture right there. And how nice is that? So first thing we're going to do is create a wall. So we want to come up here under Game Objects, create Other, and come down to Cube, right? Now check out where your cube is placed. It's kind of out there way up in nowhere. We want to put it down in front of us over there. We want it to start somewhere. We actually need to scale it up first. We want it to be, we don't want it to be any wider, but we do want it to be, or any thicker, but we want it to be wider and taller. So we see Z is going back. That matches the blue there, so we want to leave the Z as 1, but these will go ahead and make 10. Now let's make it 100. Nope, that's too far. Let's go ahead and make this, say, 50. Yeah, that's fine. And then height will make 10. Okay, now we have a wall there. All right, go ahead and line it up with your scene a little bit. And pull it up. Okay. Now, come back up to where your material is, and to put it on that wall, all you have to do is click and drag it and literally just drop it right there on the wall. Now the first thing we see is our tiling is a little stretched, right? So the very first thing we're going to want to do is actually change our X tiling to match what we had. We want, I said 50? No, that'll be too much. 5 works. Well, let's make it 10. See how that looks. And then scale this to maybe 2. Now that looks close enough. That's a nice little wall, right? Let's move it back a little bit, put it at the edge of our scene here. Okay. That looks decent enough. And one thing you notice, it does also texture the back of it. It will texture the whole object you put it on. Okay, now, last thing I need to show you about textures is something really, really cool called normal mapping. Now, in order to show this off, I'm going to go ahead and close this so I can select down here. And I want to put in another light. Now this time, I just want a little point light. Okay. I want to move it kind of close to my wall because that's what I want it to be lighting up here. Okay. See our cool little light and its effect on the wall. Alright, now go ahead and select out here somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And let me show you how to set up a normal map on your texture. Click on select your text or your material, and up here at the top, click on this. Wait a second for it to open. And it will open this menu with a bunch of different options. And we'll get into what all of these are soon enough, but the main one that's really cool is bump diffuse right here. Go ahead and select that one, and you see we have a second spot down here. Well, we need to put a normal map right there. That's what it's asking for. You see this normal map? Okay, this is how we create a normal map. Go ahead and select this, come up to edit. We actually want to duplicate this, and you see a second one pop down here. Change the name of that to something like, keep the original name so you know it matches that object. Put like normal at the end of it, right? Select out of it. Now, the first thing we want to do is come up here, and this tells you what type of texture this is. We actually want to change this to normal map, and it will automatically give you some options here. We want it to create from grayscale, leave that selected, but we want it as bumpy as possible, so go ahead and scale this up to the top. And that's all you need. Leave all these settings the same, and go ahead and click apply. Now the first thing you see in the little preview here is it changed the image of our texture, and this is actually what a normal map looks like. Looks kind of crazy, but it's really cool. Come back up and select your brick, and we have this spot right here, this empty spot where we need to place this new normal map that we just made. So select that and drag it over here and place it on that spot. And the first thing you notice is it's not lined up right. We actually have to tile it the same as our other texture on this material. So go ahead and tile it to 10 by 2, and now you see it matches perfectly. And if you get real close, you see a little bit more detail in there. So we're going to go ahead and come up here and select your point light and move this around. Look at it from any kind of angle, move it around, and you see we give a little bit of a three-dimensional effect now. Isn't that cool? The normal map will actually change where the light is reflecting, which direction a light is reflecting off an object, and make it look three-dimensional like this. So that's the unique function about a normal map. And pretty much any texture that you want to use in here, you want to set up with a normal map if possible, because that'll give your game a really good 3D effect. Now, obviously, we know this is just a flat cube, but look at that. That is such amazing detail now. So that is our first little bit of a scene. We're going to go ahead and delete this point light back out of the scene now. And I'm about out of time for this video. So the last thing I'm going to do is actually left click on this to select it, and we want to actually duplicate this a couple times. So come up to edit and duplicate it, and then pull it back to the other side here. And then duplicate it again, edit, duplicate. This one we want to rotate by 180 degrees, or 90 degrees, excuse me. Oop, not that one. On the y-axis, 90 degrees. And I am really just about out of time for this video. So go ahead and duplicate the wall again and put it on the other side, and I will pick right up there in the next video. We'll see you soon.